Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today in War Thunder it's time to talk about a news article which is talking about the Lunar New Year in War Thunder. Obviously with Chinese New Year means that we get a nice little event about it, which to be quite honest I think could do some improvements. But before we get started on this, I do actually want to show you something that I was shared earlier today. Now I don't think it's real, to be quite honest, and I have my big skeptical glasses on, but I thought, why not show you just to kind of, maybe have a sneak peek into the future, or maybe just be blatantly lied to, one of the two. Anyway, this is a screenshot from the Gaijin.net store. Supposedly, and it's an ME262B pack. Now, as I said, I am incredibly skeptical of this, because if this is going to be the premium for Rank 5 Germany, there are a hell of a lot better options out there. So it just seems a little bit odd if this would be it. Also, on top of this, I've had a look at archives, I've had a look at pretty much everywhere, and I can't find anything on this picture apart from the one that you see before you. Everything seems to either have been scrubbed clean or just didn't exist in the first place, and is just a really well-made, actual fake. And, well, we'll see, in the next few weeks if this thing is real or not. So let's have a talk about the ME262B-1AU1. It's a night fighter version of an ME262. They basically took a trainer version of it, a two-seater, and added the FUG-218 long wavelength radar and the Naxos centimetric radar homing gear on it. So they also slapped on 2 extra fuel tanks, so it would be able to last longer in the air at night, and also change the armament. It has 2 30mm MK108s and 2 20mm MG151s. It obviously, with the extra radar added and the extra fuel tanks, took a bit of a hit on its speed, but it was still faster than most of its contemporaries at the time, such as the Mosquito, which was actually something the Germans were worried about. It's kind of as simple as that. It was a 1944 modification, which was barely used in 1945, but it was still a little bit used, and if they want to pick this for a premium, I suppose they could. It just seems a little bit too good to be true, but then again, you never know. I think, personally, if we compare it to something like the Sabre we see from the Americans on the premium side, doesn't really fit too well, does it? But anyway, thought I'd just share that with you, because it was a little bit of interesting information. I just want to, as I said, I can't find literally anything else. Normally they leave a kube up by accident, or I've checked all of the different language sites, I've checked everywhere, and nothing has come up. So just take this with a huge grain of salt. Anyway, let's get to the Lunar New Year in War Thunder and what you can get out of it. So, from the 5th of February to the 11th of February, all you have to do is play one game of any vehicle of rank 3 or higher with a battle activity of 60% or higher, win it, and you get Pigu over here, with some interesting tattoos on his shoulder. On top of this as well, you can get access to some impressive fireworks until February the 10th, 7 GMT. So you go to the store for a traditional Chinese red firecracker, open it for 300 GE and receive one of the items within, and then for 2700 GE you will be able to open 10 firecrackers, saving 300 GE. So basically, if you buy 10 of them, you get 10% off. If you buy one of them, they're 300 GE each. Now, the problem with these firecrackers is that it's very hard to say that they have anything worthwhile in them. If you actually have a look here, the BM824 12 hours rent, you can get that by just playing the game. The Panzer W42 12 hours rent, same thing. You can see where they're going here. Obviously, with the Chinese New Year, the idea of the firecracker, idea of the Fireworks, they're going for everything which has rockets on it. So you have the Calliope, once again, rent. Premium account for 3 days, which is pretty good. Then you got 120,000 silver lines, not very good. And then a ton of different wages. So overall, you have a bunch of ways of making silver lines. You have some silver lines, premium account for 3 days, which is probably the best you're going to get, and then the rented vehicles, which I suppose you can have a bit of fun with, but overall, you know, it's not very... This firecracker thing, I mean, a lot of the stuff you're either not going to use in the form of the wages, or they're going to be hard to use, especially if you get like the mission maker wager, which is incredibly hard to get. And then a lot of the stuff won't even, you know, carry on for very long, especially if you only get the 12 hours of rent stuff. And there's no way of getting these in the game either. You actually just have to straight up buy them. So let's go into the game, have a look at these red firecrackers, and also have a look at the decal. So you can see here on the barn, this is the decal that you can get. It's quite nice, very high definition. I like the fact that it's a strong Pigu with the tattoos, and if you're looking for where it is in customization, you can find it under the special tab, which is right here. So 2019 is the year of the pig. Tag's obviously fictional, but I think it is a really nice decal. It's very easy to get. You know, everybody should try and get it. You only just need to win one game out of like a week, so very simple to do. The item shop, if we go to it, you can see that we have the red firecracker here, and then you got the 10 firecrackers for 2,700. I mean, at the end of the day, if you've got 300 GE and you're looking to buy something, right? Why not just go for something like this, where you have a better chance of actually getting yourself a premium, instead of getting yourself a test drive of a vehicle? Like, it's... when you actually look at the cost of these things, it doesn't really make, you know, a ton of sense. Let's just change the battle trophies, because that's what it is. So on this, you have a ton of random wages you can get, premium account for 3 days, 120,000 silver lines, or some vehicle test drives on some rocket premiums. Or you could just do this one, which is cheaper, at 299 GE. You have a chance of getting yourself a premium aircraft on top. Well, a very small chance, but it's still a chance. You also have a chance of getting your money back, and you take away some of the useless stuff, such as the vehicle test drives. So when we compare these, right, to these, why would you get these? Like, what is the reason? You're basically replacing a premium, which you can get, with a bunch of test drives, which, yes, you will have a higher probability of getting, but you still wouldn't want a 12-hour test drive at, like, at 90%, if you had a 90% chance of getting a vehicle test drive, and a 10% or a 1% chance of getting the premium, you would still go and try and get the premium. Because the 12-hour test drive, it runs out. It's as simple as that, and it's also not for vehicles that are very good. Whereas these, you can pick which vehicle you want to get. You know, the Befeswagen Jagdpanther is a pretty good vehicle. The D9, once again, very good Soviet vehicle. The Tiger, wonderful vehicle. So, yeah, it's the 122. I didn't even realize that was there. That's kind of ridiculous. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you know, it would be so much better just to get one of these instead of one of these. Like, I just don't understand where this idea is coming from. So, let's just put Pigu down again. There you go, Pigu. So, at the end of it, the firecrackers are bad. Right? They're not good value for money, because there isn't really anything here that sticks around and is useful. If you want to know what the wages are talking about, so I'll show you some of them. So, here we go. Wages, hello. So, Mission Maker Wager. This is what it is. You have 10 battles, and you have to achieve Mission Maker, max stage, not max stage 10, but you basically have 10 battles where you can fail and get, and if you get one mission maker, you get a certain amount of silver lions. Then you have best squad, silver lions, silver lions, silver lions, silver lions. The only ones which aren't silver lions when it comes to this stuff is these ones here. They are called Commander Golden Battles wages. So one thing that you will understand is if you look at these, they don't exist here. All of these are just for Silver Lions, right? So you could take away all of these and just replace them with percentage chance of getting more Silver Lions. So that's already all of these which are useless. And then 12 hours to rent. A few people will be interested in this, but I'm sure the majority of people won't. So literally the only one which is useful, or at least, value for money, let's say, is that one, out of all of them. Why would you get one of these? And I think personally, since Chinese New Year, at least around where I am, it's a very big thing. I think there could be other ways of actually doing this which would be more interesting. So let's talk about those few ways. The first thing is, I don't mind the loot box idea, but I think we should change it. And you could still keep it for GE if you wanted, but you also make it so, let's say if you win 5 battles, you get access to one of these firecracker battle trophies, okay? So either 300 GE or firecracker things. Now, once you get one of the boxes, inside it has either the premium account for, let's say, 1 day or 2 day. The amount doesn't really matter. Let's just say premium account time. Then you get a Silver Lions thing as well. You take away all of the boosters, the wages. You take away the timed exclusives for the premiums, and you replace it with Chinese vehicles instead of rocket vehicles. So the first one is, of course, the Type 62. This is a vehicle you could put in this box, and if the person already has it, then it obviously gives you a different vehicle. But you could put this in the box. It even has the flag of China, or the Republic. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, and then there's other vehicles in the game files which you could call upon, and I've actually done videos on them in the past, right? Not this one. This one, the Type 63, is in the game files. It's a fat PT-76, but it is different. It's got a different gun, different layout, different engine. Everything is different. On top of this, you got the Type 69, right? That's another vehicle which is different. I know a lot of you will think it's a T-54, T-55. It is different. Then on top of this, you got the Type 69-2A, which is a beast of a vehicle. And then you've got the Type 59, which is pretty much a T-55A. So you do have these Chinese vehicles in the game. Now, if you want to have a look at any of these vehicles, I have actually done videos on them in the past, and let's just show you another one, which we could see with the actual composites, well, not composites, but ERA armor on it. You have this one, the Type 59D, right? You could put this in a box, and this would give the player a reason to actually buy the box. Now, you put all of these on, once again, timed periods. So let's say 12-hour things, right? So you put them on, you basically rent them for 12 hours, you give people the ability to be able to get these boxes in the game without having to purchase them, and you get access to an interesting vehicle. You don't have to give the vehicle premium. The Type 62 doesn't have premium. Instead, what you can do is just say, hey, look at this cool Chinese vehicle. We'll give it to you fully upgraded for 12 hours. Mess around with it. Have some fun. You don't even have to make it be able to research anything. Just give it to people just to give them something different, which is Chinese. And maybe from this point, what you can do is you can make people interested in putting a Chinese texture in the game. So people can get their hands on these vehicles. They can try them out in the game and be like, you know what? It would be nice to see this. Or, on the other side, they could be like, oh, well, this is awful. I don't want these. So you can kind of get, from doing events like this, just like they do the April Fool's events, a community perception on what you want to see in the future. So you can use this, and then once the event is over, after the week or whatever, or the 5 days, you can say, hey guys, right, so here's a poll. Do you like these vehicles? Do you not like these vehicles? Would you like a kind of Chinese tree with these vehicles? And you can work out community perception on what they want from this. And then you can push forward with that idea. But instead what we have is really not good boxes. Instead, we have rentals for vehicles which are already in the game. They, in my opinion, have missed an opportunity here to make this event interesting by adding different vehicles that you're not used to, which are in the game files. Otherwise, how would I be able to have, used user missions and had a look at them from, from the game? Like, I wouldn't have been able to. So, with that said, I think that would be a much better way of doing things, instead of the way that we have now, where you just get random rocket machines, which are not very effective in the game anyway. Overall, I like the decal. I like the firecracker idea. I just think the prizes inside are null and void, and it would be much better to replace them with stuff where the community can get involved in, they get something new, and you can work out what you want to do moving forward from that. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.